It's very important to understand the sequence of how things actually played out until the time that 39 people died in this horrible, horrible incident in Karur. It started at 10 a.m. The tragedy unfolded later in the evening after sunset, but it actually began at 10 in the morning when the crowd started to gather at that ground in Karur. These are images of the crowd starting to gather. Just look at it. This was 10 in the morning. By 12:45 p.m., the rally was to start. 12:45 p.m., afternoon rally it was supposed to be. 15 minutes later at 1 p.m., the crowd waited. There was no water, no food, and Vijay had still not shown up. These are pictures. I have verified them from that time. One person has already started to faint. This is when things started to go bad. 2 p.m., 1 hour 15 minutes after the scheduled time of the rally, around 5,000 people had already gathered at the venue. This is what it looked like at that time. At 4 p.m., the crowd began to dramatically increase. By this time, it was about 3.5 hours after the scheduled time, and still Vijay had not shown up. He was, by this time, now en route from Namakkal in Tamil Nadu. 6 p.m. in the evening, a full 5 hours and 15 minutes after the scheduled time of the rally starting, Vijay reached 1 kilometer away from the venue. Massive crowd disrupted the entire route. He was unable to reach the venue. By 7 p.m. finally, 6 hours and 15 minutes after the promised time of the actual rally, Vijay arrived. More crowds had swelled by that time and they were accompanying Vijay. The size of the crowd doubled at the venue. At about 7:08 p.m., supporters gathered behind the vehicle. As you can see in those pictures, the crowd pressed forward to hear the speech. There was a huge surge. 7:10 p.m. is when Vijay began his speech. Now, hang on to that time for a moment because I will be coming back to it. 7:10 p.m. is when Vijay began his speech from on top of that vehicle. Between 7:10 and 7:20, while Vijay was giving his speech from on top of that vehicle, people started to collapse. So while he was giving the speech, people started fainting and collapsing and falling. Vijay spotted people falling. He stopped speaking and he left the venue immediately. Immediately left the venue, even though there are images to show that he was still speaking when ambulances were rushing into the crowd to pick up the affected people. By 10:13 p.m., 3 hours later, Vijay reached the Trichy airport. By 12 midnight, he had reached Chennai. So, like Sam was telling us, he left instantly. There was a great deal of anger over why he chose to leave so quickly, but it was apparently in good faith in order not to aggravate the situation even further, given that his very presence there meant that people were going completely out of control.